So, friends, have you seen the histrionics of some of the Trump administration officials over an Instagram post by former FBI Director James Comey? Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, former FBI Director James Comey posted a picture on Instagram of seashells on a beach that somebody had arranged to display 4 numbers, 8647. And the Trump administration went apoplectic, claiming that James Comey, courtesy of that photo that he posted on Instagram, has threatened Donald Trump. Now, friends, I work threats cases as a prosecutor, and we'll talk in a minute about the kind of evidence necessary to bring a criminal charge against someone for communicating a threat. But let's start with the new reporting. This from ABC News. Headline: Trump blasts former FBI Director James Comey over controversial Instagram post. And that article begins, President Donald Trump lashed out Friday against ex-FBI Director James Comey over an Instagram post that contained an image that top Trump officials claimed was a threat. In a now-deleted Instagram post, Comey showed a photo of 8647 written in seashells in sand with the caption, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." Some far-right allies of Trump, including Laura Loomer, have alleged that Comey is calling for violence against the president. 286-something, however, has fairly broad interpretations as a slang meaning and can simply mean to nix or get rid of something, according to Merriam-Webster. Comey says he figured the message in the shell's placement was political, but said he didn't realize it called for violence against Trump. "It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind," Comey said in another post on Instagram. Trump, however, told Fox News Channel's Special Report with Bret Baier Friday that he wasn't buying Comey's explanation. This quote from Trump, quote, "He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination," the president said. Noting that Comey apologized, Trump said, "Well, he apologized because he was hit. He's a very bad guy," Trump said. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Thursday in an X post that the U.S. Secret Service is looking into Comey's post. Quote, "Disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for the assassination of POTUS, Trump," she said. FBI Director Kash Patel also said he was aware of the post and he was providing support to Noem's efforts. Because, of course, Kash Patel was. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard called for Comey to be imprisoned. So friends, just think for a minute about the lawlessness of what Tulsi Gabbard proposes. Her position is apparently there is no need for a criminal investigation. There's no need for an indictment. There's no need for a jury trial. There's no need for a verdict. Just march James Comey directly into a jail cell. To hell with the rule of law. To hell with the constitutional protections like of due process of law. Of course, it's no surprise that that is the approach of a Trump administration official. To hell with the Constitution or the protections it affords everyone, including James Comey. But let's talk for a minute about what it takes to charge somebody with the crime of communicating a threat. Generally speaking, the threat, the words, or in this case, the number, 86, we're going to talk about that in a minute. The threat needs to be clear, direct, unambiguous, unequivocal. Some threats statutes even require evidence of a present intent or ability to follow through with the threat. So when you're dealing with a number, 86, the logical place to start is the accepted dictionary definition. What does 86 mean? Well, the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of 86, verb, to refuse to serve a customer. As a bartender telling a customer, hey, you're 86th, you're cut off, no more drinks for you. To eject, dismiss, or remove someone, as in, he was 86th from Twitter following outrage from other users. Here's another common definition. To remove an item from a menu, to no longer offer an item to customers, as in, many small restaurants or bars may run into issues with their inventory. When there are not enough ingredients left to make a popular dish or drink, they'll have to 86 it. This prevents the customers from ordering it and then getting upset. Here's another accepted dictionary definition. Democratic leaders 86th an amendment introduced in the House version of the bill. And let's just do one more, friends. After attempting a Zoom interview that had them sounding as garbled as the off-camera adults in a Peanuts special, we 86'd the audio on our computers and talked on the phone. Well, friends, isn't it interesting that none of those accepted dictionary definitions of the number 86 involve violence of any kind? And yet, Donald Trump says even a child knows what that meant. Well, only if that child never bothered to look at a dictionary to see what 86 actually means. But you know, there actually is a post that comes to mind that was a pretty vivid and direct depiction of violence. And it was this. Remember when Donald Trump posted a picture of himself holding a baseball bat mid-swing, appearing to swing it in the direction of the man who was prosecuting him, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, with Bragg having his hands up, seeming to be in a defensive posture? And do you remember the reporting about that post? Headline, Trump posts disturbing baseball bat photo with Alvin Bragg, threatens death and destruction. Donald Trump on Friday threatened death and destruction if he's criminally charged in New York, writing the shocking social media warning after posting an image of himself holding a baseball bat next to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's head. This quote from Trump, quote, "They are human scum." The 76-year-old former president raged in one post, asking why Bragg refuses to do the right thing and call it a day. CNN legal analyst Norm Eisen tweeted that threatening a prosecutor is a crime in New York. In fact, multiple crimes. And friends, even Jonathan Turley, who seems to forever defend Donald Trump in knee-jerk fashion, regardless of what Trump says or does. George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley, who testified for Trump's defense during his first impeachment for pressuring Ukraine to investigate the Biden family, has repeatedly sought to warn the former president off threatening postings, saying, quote, "Many of us have criticized the reported indictment as deeply flawed and politically motivated," Turley tweeted Friday. "However, that will be addressed by the courts. The rule of law will be protected by the bench, not the bat, in our constitutional system." On Thursday, Turley blasted Trump for writing in all caps, "Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful." Quote, "Given the violence on January 6th and riots in various cities, our leaders have to avoid reckless rhetoric," Turley wrote. "Being peaceful is not just a legal obligation, but a civic duty of citizens." Wow, when Jonathan Turley is criticizing Trump? You know, friends, I think it pretty unlikely that we will see James Comey charged with communicating a threat. But if Pam Bondi's DOJ tries to pull that crap, then there's a good chance that the DOJ lawyers who have their fingerprints on a Comey indictment will run the risk of being referred to their state bar for an ethics investigation. Because not bringing baseless, vindictive prosecutions like justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.